2020 presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke surprised many voters when he took an abortion stand that more than 85% of Americans disagree with. We'll tell you about it. And it was just reported that for the first time, more households are using streaming services than traditional TV. And heads up, we've got a trailer for a new Natalie Portman movie that looks like something you'll want to have on your radar. It's all coming up. This is Relevant Daily.
Relevant Daily.
Hey everyone, I'm Cameron Strang and welcome to Relevant HQ. This is Relevant Daily, where we bring you what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture. All those stories are coming up, but first, I want to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a beautiful gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all possible with Squarespace. They have award-winning templates, customizable settings, even powerful e-commerce solutions, all without a single plugin. And right now, Squarespace is offering Relevant Daily viewers a special deal. Head over to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I've used Squarespace for years. You'll love it. And I'm glad they're sponsoring Relevant Daily. Squarespace.com/relevant. Okay, to tell us more about those stories, please welcome our very own Tyler Huckabee. Welcome, Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
So tell us what Beto O'Rourke is saying that's so shocking.
So everybody knows Beto O'Rourke as the Texas politician who's gotten a ton of attention. He's raised millions of dollars without super PACs. And the appeal is that he's seen as sort of a blue dog Democrat. He has a very conservative voting record, one of the most conservative of any Democrat who's currently in Congress. And this has won him a lot of attention from moderates, from centrists, from people who don't want to see any politician go too far to the extremes of the partisan divide, right? So that's what made his answer to this question about abortion so surprising. He was in Cleveland when a voter asked him about third trimester abortions and whether or not he supported them even when there was no medical necessity. And O'Rourke said, and this is a direct quote, "The question about abortion and reproductive rights. My answer to you is that should be a decision the woman makes. I trust her." And then he reaffirmed that answer to reporters the next day.
So, but why is this so shocking? I thought it was a plank of the Democratic platform to be pro-abortion.
Well, there's two things that are surprising about it. The first is that while the Democratic Party has generally been seen as the pro-choice party, third-term abortions are still sort of a controversial sort of wing of that debate. It's surprising for a candidate like O'Rourke, who's been viewed as more of a moderate. Some experts say third-term abortions in which the fetus might still be viable go beyond the legal limits of Roe v. Wade. But even more surprising for somebody like O'Rourke is that third-term abortions are very unpopular with voters. Americans remain pretty evenly divided between pro-life and pro-choice, about half and half. But 87% of voters do not support third-term abortions. 87%. So just 13% of voters approve of third-term abortions. That makes it very, very surprising that somebody like O'Rourke, who has shown a real willingness to try to reach across the aisles and show his bona fides as a blue dog, would take a position that is not very popular.
So, I mean, he really is going after, like, I'm the new Reagan, essentially. Even the cover of Vanity Fair, he's wearing the same outfit that Reagan was wearing with the rolled up sleeves and everything. So do you think that this is going to hurt him in the long run?
We'll have to see. It's possible. President Trump knows that this is a really big issue for his base, and he's really been hammering it. He doesn't want Democrats to get away with making this something that they don't talk about. So he'll keep bringing it up, and that means that Democrats are going to have to face it sooner or later. But what they're probably going to say is, and this is true, late-term abortions are extremely rare. Only about 1% of all abortions happen in that late stage. So we'll see if it continues to get brought up. But it'll be surprising if somebody like Beto, a candidate like him, is willing to leave that choice up to the mother. Then it's going to be a question as to whether any Democratic candidate is going to be willing to flex at all on their stance on abortion.
And yet again, the divide gets wider, right? Between the candidates. Okay, so tell us this news coming out of the entertainment world about how streaming is now overtaking traditional TV, huh?
Well, I was a little surprised almost that it took this long time. I mean, people watching this are watching this on a streaming service, obviously, and we don't watch television at our house, but for the first time, we're in the actual majority. 69% of Americans, according to a new poll, have at least one streaming service, compared to only 65% of Americans who have a traditional paid service. So for the first time, streaming has overtaken traditional television media. So congratulations to the millennials. We finally did it. We got them on the ropes.
Yeah, but okay. But you know full well that, the original cord cutters were to save money, right? Because I'm being forced with cable to pay for all these channels that I don't want to watch. I should be able to do a la carte, power to the consumer, all that kind of stuff, break up the monopolies. But if it was a cost thing, I'm going to go from $100 a month of cable to $10 a month of Netflix. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to have the Disney one next year when it rolls out, because they own 60% of all entertainment now with the Fox acquisition. You're going to, Hulu is where your broadcast channels put most of their shows. Like, all of a sudden, it's going to add up, and then you want ESPN, you want whatever, and next thing you know, you're going to be back up at the cost of cable, just minus the, I guess the over-the-air or whatever. It's all on demand, but. It's interesting to watch the shift.
Another part of this poll, which is that 47%, almost half of all streaming service customers are getting frustrated about how many services they have to pay for now to get all the shows that they want, because you can't just do Netflix anymore. You can't even just do Netflix and Hulu anymore. You have to have HBO Go. You're going to have to get Disney Plus next year. So that's getting frustrating. And then more than half, 57%, are mad because a show they liked isn't available at the streaming service that they got it for. So you get Netflix because you want to watch, say, Parks and Rec, but when that gets pulled, and it will, then you're all of a sudden you're stuck with a streaming service that you don't really want anymore. So I would say we're still very much in a flux situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. It really will. I mean, at the end of the day, people like to sit on their couch and be entertained. So, whoever kind of figures out the financial model and the variety and on-demand, all that, they'll win. All right, so tell us about this new Natalie Portman movie.
Really excited about this new movie. We just got the first trailer for it today. Lucy in the Sky stars Natalie Portman and John Hamm, stacked cast. Dan Stevens, Zazie Beetz, Nick Offerman, and Tig Notaro. It's loosely based on the story of Lisa Marie Nowak. She's that astronaut who drove across the country to Orlando a couple of years ago because she thought you remember that.
To Cape Canaveral, not to Orlando. She was passing through
the Orlando area. And so this story takes it. Apparently, it's a very loose interpretation of it. It's directed by Noah Hawley. He was behind the Fargo series on FX and also Legion on FX. He has kind of a weird psychedelic aesthetic that, from the trailer, looks like he'll be bringing to this as well. Here's a clip from that trailer.
You got to see the vast celestial everything, and it blew your mind. So now nothing makes sense.
Lucy?
I'm fine.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, thanks a lot, Tyler. And make sure to follow along all day as we bring you the latest, all those stories and more. We're on Twitter @Relevant, on Facebook, and make sure to check out the homepage at relevantmagazine.com for all of our latest content. Hey, while you're there, if you haven't seen the print magazine, we want to introduce you with a special offer just for Relevant Daily viewers. Right now, you can get 6 months of Relevant for only $6. Head over to relevantmagazine.com/daily sale. Hey, and don't forget to tune in to Relevant Daily every weekday, wherever you're watching us right now. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating if you like the show. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Relevant Daily.
Relevant Daily.